Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters is a Breeze, episode number 12 reaction. And this is the final episode of this season, I think. The previous episode we got to see Miwa's part of the story. We were in the middle of a shogi match, and Miwa has lost two times, and she was kind of thinking about something, feeling a little bit like low because of the fact that she in actuality didn't really like shogi in that sense. She did it because she saw his father and his sisters being proud of her, and she wanted to make them happy, so she wanted to continue with shogi. Unlike her other two sisters, she thought that she was not, since she didn't have like actual love for the game itself, she thought she will reach a hurdle and won't be able to go past it. And now she's realizing that this is probably that hurdle. In the end, Yu goes and meets her, talks to her, and tells her how like her reasoning is in no way inferior to the other, like the other like anyone else's reasoning. Her sisters loves the game and loves those things, that's why they try to excel in it. She loves her family and wants to make them happy, that's why she's doing playing shogi is a means to her. So it's completely fine, like there's no problem in that. And you kind of shares his situation with him, with Miwa, and tells her about his story of how he started cooking because he wanted to make his mother happy. So anyways, in the end they didn't really show us what happened in the match. I'm guessing we're going to see today. Let's see what happens. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Here we go. So if she doesn't win this, she's gone. It's over. And I'm guessing she won. No. Oh, it still hasn't happened. I thought she came out. I thought the game is over or something. Never mind. It still hasn't happened. Yep. Here we go. Someone else. Yep. Oh, she's here. Damn, her presence. Here we go. Hmm. Wow. Crazy. Hmm? Wha- Damn. Oh, he shows. Yep. Oh wow. That's such a good parallel to how different people have different ways they, you know. But if you take him to the other side, you can promote him. Hmm. Damn. There you go. Like I said, you can promote it. Oh my god. Well, this interested her because she compared herself to the pawn. Hmm. Oh, checkmate. Yeah. Yeah, then she met Miwa, I guess. Crazy. Hmm. Oh, what? Oh, his her marks. Yo, just mind your business. And you're the one who's speaking ill about others? Crazy. What type of. Yeah, why are you. Exactly, why are you spewing nonsense here then? Go mind your business. Oh yeah, she remembers. And that is true. Okay. Hmm. It's like 50-50. We saw it. Like the red and the blue counter both are in the 50%. Oh, both of them have like 1 minute left. Mio has a little bit more left. 56 seconds. Oh, it's very close. 21-5. Yeah, she cannot recover from this. 5 seconds is too damn low. And she has like 20 seconds. Oh, Mio was thinking. So she's spending more time. Oh, is she gonna lick her lips? Yep, it's done. Mate? Is it mate? What happened? Yeah. Alright, so she has to win two more times. I like this. It's still not over yet. Fourth title match. Oh, wins again. The finale. Well, they're still watching, just, you know. Yeah? Wow. Okay. No. He's cooking and watching. Oi. Hmm. Oh, wait, has the match started or they were playing the match, right? Oh, there you go. Oh, he's. I think she's trying to find you. What happened? Something has happened. I feel like. Um. Yeah. Yeah. Well, as she said, she's doing it for everyone else. So that is what she wanted to see. Yeah. Yeah. Oh. Oh boy. Oh no. Oh yeah. Who? What the hell? Um. Oh. Oh, she's like, oh yeah, I can use that. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Where's Sakura? She go home? Yeah. Oh no. Oh, there she is. Yeah. Yep. All right. Damn. Talking to. Oh boy. Okay. Yeah, it's definitely not. Oh, oh. She's gonna stop him. Well, at this. Okay. Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. True. Oh, it's over. Damn. Yeah. Maybe a straw? Oh. Yeah. Oh god. Yep. Hmm. Okay. Yeah, they'll probably come back. Or they're waiting outside. Either of it. Oh, there you go. Right. Nice. Alright. I don't know if this will have a second season. I don't know. I feel like it has. I don't know. This is like something that I'm not 100% sure. Like, usually I can guess whether there's a chance of it getting season 2, but I genuinely don't know how this was, like, how much popular this was, or all that stuff. The story is really good. It is definitely one of my most favorite, like, like harem rom-com stories. Um, Personally, I really like this, like the story very much. But it'll depend on how good the reception is, how much this sold, and other stuff. So 50-50, I think. There's a chance of it either getting a season 2 or maybe not. Let's see if there's any announcement. If not, then I guess we'll have to wait. What the hell? What's cap? Oh my god. Yeah. Wait, I don't remember this part in the manga. I forgot, I guess. Bruh. Where this come from? Ah, that's it. Alright, so yeah, you know what? Let me just check quickly if I doubt there has been an announcement. But let me see. Okay, let me check. Yeah, well, no, no announcement. Yeah, there hasn't been any announcement or any type of hint. For hint, I would say maybe, you know, like the last part. Like at first, I was like when they were showing the end credits, I was like, oh yeah, it's there's no hint. Usually, two things happen. Either they directly announce, oh, second season in production or something like that, or they do something at the end where it hints that we're going to get a second season, or they literally just write to be continued. These are the few things that they do. um, when the end credit scenes were end credits were playing, I was like, okay, there's no hint, nothing. They're showing the end credits. I feel like there is like a 50-50 chance of like either getting a season 2 or not. Because a lot of shows have this. They either get season 2 and it continues, or they season 1 only and then that's it. It's over. Read the manga. So I was trying to think which this would be, and when they are showing the end credits, I was like, okay, there's no hints, nothing, it's over. But then they showed that last scene where Sakura comes in. So that little scene at the end can be considered a hint that, oh yeah, we're going to see what happens. Otherwise, why did they end it like that? Like if this is like, if they had no like intention of doing a second season at all, they wouldn't have added the last bit. It makes no sense. They would have ended it there. It would be a clean cut to the end, and then read the manga if you want to. The fact that they added that little thing at the end um, makes me think they probably have a plan to do season 2, but nobody knows when. Something like that. Anyways, I do hope we get a season 2, because like I said, uh, there's a lot of harem shows which like has this similar type of a storyline, but this is, I don't know, this is a show which I feel like it has everything to the right degree, and there's no drama in it. Like literally no drama. Like by drama I'm talking about, like, like, oh, this, I like this guy, this girl also likes this guy, this and that, all those like nonsensical, like, stuff. It's not there at all. Like, you've not seen that. They do have like this, like, them getting jealous and everything, but those are like in a more comedic fashion. The focus of this show is more on the individuals, like the characters, the main character, the other three girls, and developing their character, as giving them personality. That is the main focus of this show, which, I don't know, which is something, like I said, it's quite rare in these type of shows. So when I read the manga before, I immediately liked it, and obviously, then I forgot most of the stuff, and now I'm watching the anime. So I do hope they continue this as season 2. If not, I'll probably wait for a while, and if they don't do it, I'll just read the manga, I guess, because I've already read the manga for quite a bit, so I'll probably read the rest of it. I don't even know if the manga has ended or not. I'm not really sure, but either way, let's wait and see. Um, but yeah, hopefully this gets one, because this is like a modern harem, which is actually good, and modern harems being good is quite a rarity. Um, because, good lord, some shows are just so bad nowadays. It's like, I just cannot. Like, I'm talking about harem. Like, harems were good back in the days, and now this generation, the modern harems that we get are absolute ass. I absolutely hate most of those. This is a rarity. So, you know, yeah. Anyways, let's hope for the best. All right, so the final episode for today, we had Miwa um, playing against Sakura, and obviously defending her title, and that whole thing we had. We also got quite a bit portion of today's episode was focused on Sakura's backstory. So basically, Sakura was someone who just, as we saw, who has been very clumsy from the very young age. She, used to mess up. That's why her friends were like, "Oh, what the hell? Like, we don't want to play with you, this and that." And that's why she never got any friends to play with, and she was alone. Even at her house, she was just like lonely and just on her own. And then she went to her grandparents' house, and that is where her grandfather introduced her to Shogi. And it was just obviously as a way to like cheer her up. She was just all on her own. So her grandpa was like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Play with me. Let's play a game." But that was the turning point in her life, because she was someone who had nothing that she really wanted to do. She was always kind of sad about the fact that she's clumsy and everything. But shogi was the one thing which she realized that if you put in effort, it will, it will give back to you. So she decided to give that. And not only that, her grandpa's words like affected her quite a bit, which was basically that, oh, you see, these pawns are the weakest in the whole board, but they do not back down, they do not go sideways, they go forward one step at a time, and finally when they reach the other side of the board, they can be promoted and they become one of the strongest pieces in the board. And that is what a pawn is: weak but slow and steady, always moving forward, eventually becoming one of the strongest. And Sakura compared herself with the pawn and decided to follow that. Slow and steady, one step at a time, moving forward, ultimately to reach a position where she will be able to say that she is strong. And that also like motivated her quite a bit, and she continued playing shogi. She became better. More and more time went. She started winning games and everything. She went pro, and finally met Miwa, which is where she again got a setback. She was like, oh, like this is different. Like I'm just a ordinary person, like playing this game. I'm just putting my effort in the game, and that's why I'm getting better and better. This is a prodigy. This is true talent. And I feel like however how much time, it doesn't matter how much time I try to follow her or get to her, like reach up to her, I won't be able to. And yeah, but then like she interacted with Miwa, and Miwa kind of we saw like kind of those other people were like guys were kind of like harassing her, so Miwa helped her out with that. And not only that, she was like under the impression that, oh yeah, Miwa is like these like Mikadono sisters, they're just on a different level, they don't care about anyone near them, they don't even look at the other person, their opponent, they're that good. So but then when Miwa said that, oh, you know what, your pawn is your pawn gameplay is actually very good, like it's like one of the best I've ever seen. Two things happened there. Number one, she got reminded that yeah, I'm supposed to be the pawn. She got reminded of her grandfather's words that slow and steady, one step at a time, you will surely reach there. She remembered that. And number two, she realized that Miwa is not that Miwa just doesn't care. Miwa does like look at the other people and the opponents, and she has kind of acknowledged her, which gave her the like the boost, the mental like thing. And she then declared herself as a rival. So that is the whole story of what happened to Sakura up until this day of the match. So it was just yeah, that was a really good backstory, you could say. They didn't really need to give a backstory to Sakura, but they still did it, and I appreciate it for I appreciate this show for that. Like that is what this is, like like all the characters, they actually get like a proper story, which is why we can at least like feel a little bit more about them. There's so many characters in so many other shows which just you know, get introduced. Like they could have easily used Sakura as like a, but I guess Sakura was supposed to like come here in this house. Like I guess she's important. But still, what I'm trying to say is like, they could have just used her as like a like a character to just introduce as a rival to Miwa, and then Miwa would overcome her, and that would have been it. They could have just used her like that. But the fact that they gave her like a proper backstory and a reasoning, and all these things is pretty nice. They like they focused on her in today's episode quite a bit, and it was a very nice story as well. Like I said, the whole thing of like pawns moving one step at a time, but slowly and surely, and then becoming the strongest. That is definitely the highlight of like Sakura's motivations, and her realizing that, yeah, I'm just like this. I just need to continue moving forward, one step at a time. Surely a time will come when I'll be able to become stronger and catch up to them. You know, it's interesting because like shogi, and I don't know shogi like rules at all. All all these things that I've been watching, I've these rules and regulations that I kind of know is all from chess. I do know how to play chess. I've played chess quite a bit before. I don't play that much nowadays. I used to play chess, but the it's just that shogi, the rules and regulations are pretty similar to chess, or maybe it's vice versa. Actually, I don't know which came first. I have no idea. But yeah, like that's why the pawn and the promotion, it goes very similar to what goes in chess. That's why I knew about it. But um I'm guessing like a lot of things are very similar, shogi and chess. Like in chess, for example, obviously there's pawns, and then when you take the pawn to the other side, you can promote it to, like, I think you can promote it to a rook, a knight, a bishop, or the queen. And obviously, like, the first thing that people do is like promote them to queen, as far as I know. And yeah, but it's pretty difficult to take your pawn to the other side. Like, you have to go to the other side of the, like, the enemy territory completely. But once you take them to there, yeah, you've gotten one of the most strongest pieces in the game. So right. I remember when I got to know about this rule, when I was playing chess, when I was very new to chess, I was so baffled. I was like, what the hell? Like, so you take the pawn to the other side, you can literally get a queen, another queen? How does that make sense? Like, because obviously queen is definitely the strongest, and has the most amount of flexibility, and like reach, like everything. You can literally move the queen in any direction, and it's absolutely insane. So the fact that a pawn can just be taken to the other side and you can literally make it another queen, I was so baffled at that. I was like, what type of a rule is this? But yeah, that's the whole thing about pawns. So yeah, so it's interesting to see even in shogi it has like the same rule, I guess. Like, you can promote it. So yeah. Anyways, so yeah, that was Sakura's part of the story. Um, right. And then let's talk about Miwa's part of the whole episode. So Miwa, as we got to see in the previous episode, she got to know the real reasoning, not real reasoning, but she like was able to acknowledge her reasoning for why she plays shogi. After like you kind of talked to her, if you remember, she was not really confident about the fact that she can continue because she didn't really like the game like everyone else. She was just doing it because she wanted to make everyone happy. But as you says that it's not a problem. Like, you are using shogi as a means to reach a certain goal, and you want to make other people happy. So like, that doesn't mean that you are less worthy to play shogi. you know you could probably say that the fact that you are doing this to make others happy and then make others proud of you in itself shows how much more, like, as she says, how much more kind and soft hearted you are. Because for the others, they're at least playing the game because they love it. You, however, is playing the game because you want others to be proud of you and them to accept you. Like, so that makes you more special and more, so all those things we saw in the previous episode that happened. So now that she has been able to acknowledge herself and her reasoning for playing shogi, she goes in and she plays the game, wins the third match obviously, and then wins the second match as well. And the final match, they didn't really show what happened in the final match, but they mentioned that, oh yeah, she defended her title. So there you go, that was that. And you immediately came, her sisters also immediately came, and we saw what happened. She went and like kissed you on his forehead, and everyone was like, oh my god, what the hell. And then she was like, oh, it's just a greeting, I was overseas when I was when I was a kid, so this is just how we greet people. And then she also, like, kind of um, kissed her sisters as well on their uh, on their cheeks, and then they took a picture. So yeah, that was that. All's well that ends well. We did see Sakura a little bit at the end, where we saw that Sakura is appreciative of the fact that Miwa at least is acknowledging her as an opponent, because up until now we've seen, like, she used to, she used to come and just sit down in the game, just play it, didn't even look at her opponents, win it, and just leave. So Miwa, not Miwa, but Sakura, was never acknowledged as a proper opponent up until now. But now you can see, as Sakura is like playing, she looks at Miwa and she sees Miwa is looking at her as well. So as an opponent, she has acknowledged her, and so yeah, she might have lost this, Sakura. But as we know, Sakura's motto: one step at a time, little by little, keep moving. So this was definitely progress. Not only did she defeat Miwa 2 times, but at the same time she was able to make Miwa acknowledge her as an opponent. You know, progress, and she's fine with it for now. She's going to continue playing and improving herself, and someday maybe she will be able to properly defeat her, or not, who knows, but she'll definitely keep continuing. So yeah. Okay. Right. And yeah, and that is it. And in the end, we got a little bit of a section where we saw all the sisters together again, like they were just doing their own thing, and you was like helping them out. And by doing that, like by doing some like normal, ordinary things, they were making the sisters, she was making the sisters get conscious of the whole situation, and they were like blushing and everything. In the end, they leave, they leave their house to go to school and do their own thing. But this time you can see, after Yu comes out, they're all waiting for him, and they're like, come on, like, do your thing. And like, because she greets them whenever they go out. And yeah, so they do the greeting, and he wishes everyone best of luck for the day. And that's how it ended. So as she said, as Yu says, his most, like, his main reason was basically to get a family, to have a, like a family kind of relationship with the girls. And he's realizing that, yeah, like little by little, I'm going in that direction, and everything is working well, and he's happy about that. And then finally, obviously, we got to see, apparently Sakura's going to live here now. Fantastic. Now we have 3 sisters and a complete outsider in this house. So great. Right. So yeah. And yeah, and there you go. That was today's episode. Now, I've already talked about everything, but like I said, let me just briefly talk about, like the show as a whole. I think they did a good job in adaptation. The visuals, the animations, and everything were perfect. Like I really love how colorful this show is. It's very colorful. I really enjoy it. Like I don't really like dull colors and dark, like shadowy type of like scenes and everything. I'm not a big fan of that. So this being so colorful has always been a plus point for me. I've always loved how colorful and vibrant this show is. When reading the manga, you cannot really understand that. I think that this is even the first time I even saw the characters' hair color. I didn't know that all these characters had these type of hairs. Like Miwa was like green, Kazuki's like blue. I never knew it. I don't know if they ever mentioned it in the manga or anything. I never knew it. So it was very interesting to see such bright colors just on the screen. Um, Not only that, like I said, the animations and like the visuals and everything looks absolutely brilliant. They really did a good job, and I think like they adapted it quite faithfully. I'm not 100% sure. Like I said, I have read the manga, but I don't remember anything. Almost, I've forgotten almost everything. And a few things I remembered, but it's very few stuff. So I think they adapted it pretty well. Overall, I think the adaptation was really good. I'm very happy with the adaptation. It's perfect. Not perfect maybe, but is near perfect. Very very good. So yeah, and obviously the story in itself is absolutely brilliant. I've always said from the very beginning, the first episode only. I mentioned it in the very first episode reaction that keep watching this show. You surely love this, and this show is definitely something different. There's so many other harem shows that follow this same formula. Like one main character, and then we have like three, like four, five, six main like heroines. Like they're either sisters, they're either whatever. Like obviously we have quintessential quintuplets. We have like other shows like Couple of Cuckoos, Rent a Girlfriend, and all that. None of those shows really appeal to me at all. It's just I don't know. I have no idea like what it is, but obviously this show does something very different, which I cannot really pinpoint properly like what this does better than the other shows, because it has a very similar type of a premise, right? But whenever I watch this show, I actually feel interested to watch it. And but the other shows, like I watched Rent a Girlfriend first season. I absolutely hated the main character so much. I dropped it then and there, and I promised myself I'll never going to watch it again. And yeah, I don't. And everybody knows what's happening in Rent a Girlfriend. It's an absolute dumpster fire. So don't want to get back to it at all. Um, Quintessential Quintuplets is a lot better than the others, but it never really appealed to me. I watched season one and I dropped it. It never really appealed to me. Then we had obviously Couple of Cuckoos. I watched episode one. I realized how much dramatic and overly drama heavy this is going to be because of the whole setting. Immediately realized this is not for me. I dropped it immediately. So all these like shows, like these modern day like harem shows, are just it's not for me. But then we have this one which I read the manga and I immediately realized this is going to be good. And we have the anime here as well, and you can say like that's why I cannot really say what this show does different, but there's definitely something that makes this show so much more appealing to me than the other shows that I've mentioned in me a few moments ago. So it has something which is done so well. And yeah, like I said, I feel like it's probably because the characters are just like they little by little they develop each of the characters properly, and these characters actually feel like characters, like instead of being just like, oh, heroine A, heroine B, heroine C, you know not like that. They actually feel like characters. And and to be honest, in this show, I don't know how this is going to end, but whichever direction this goes and whatever character wins or whatever, I have no problem with any of them. There's no like absolute favorite for me. I'll be happy if anyone out of these three girls win. I'll be happy with it. And that's how much I love each of the characters equally. And that is quite rare. Like I said, in these type of shows, you always end up rooting for one person. But I'll be okay with anything. That's how well they have developed the characters, and it still gets better. As far as I can remember, the manga gets even better from here, and it continues to be as good. So yeah, like that's why story. Obviously, I had full faith in the story. So story is amazing. Everything is good. absolutely perfect. I'll give this like an 8 out of 10. You know, like maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Story wise, I love this one. I do hope in the future we get a season 2. If not, I'll just read the manga. But yeah, I'll wait for a few, maybe like a year. I'll wait and see if there has been any kind of mention that, oh, season 2 is coming. If there's no mention, I'll probably just read the manga. But anyways, I'll end this video here. That was the final episode of Dealing with the Mikadono Sisters is a Breeze. Absolutely fantastic show, fantastic ending to the show. Let me know what you guys think. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed, comment down below. Anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know, I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next show, whatever will be replacing this. I'll see you guys there. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.